Supreme Commander-in-Chief, the troops of the joint group continue to carry out tasks to liberate the Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republics, Zaporizhia and Kherson regions, during the special military operation. Today, I would like to highlight two directions in particular. The first is the area of responsibility of the center group comprising the 2nd and 51st Army units. Advancing on converging directions, they completed the encirclement of the enemy in the Krasnoarmeysk and Dmitrovo area. A large group of the armed forces of Ukraine comprising 31 battalions has been blocked, including units of the 25th Airborne, 79th Air Assault, and 68th Jaeger Brigades, as well as the 35th and 38th Marine Brigades, the 425th Separate Assault Regiment, and the 153rd and 155th Mechanized Brigades. During the performance of combat tasks, the most distinguished servicemen were from the 30th Separate Motor Rifle Brigade and the 439th Motor Rifle Regiment of the 2nd Army, as well as the 9th and 110th Separate Motor Rifle Brigades of the 51st Army, and also the personnel of the Rubicon Unmanned Technology Center Unit. The successful execution of the operation to encircle the enemy was facilitated by delivering comprehensive fire damage to the formations of the armed forces of Ukraine throughout the depth of their operational formation, as well as isolating the area of hostilities to disrupt the uninterrupted supply of enemy units. Currently, the center group faces the equally important task of destroying the encircled group of the armed forces of Ukraine in the Krasnoarmeysk-Dmitrovo agglomeration area. Secondly, in the area of operations of the Western Troop Group, the city of Kupyansk has been encircled. Meanwhile, assault units of the 68th Motor Rifle Division of the 6th Army, executing a flanking maneuver, capture the enemy's crossings over the Oskol River south of the city. In cooperation with the 47th Motor Rifle Division and the 27th Motor Rifle Brigade of the 1st Tank Army, they blocked the armed forces of Ukraine group on the left bank of eastern Kupyansk. Encircled are subdivisions of the 14th, 43rd, 116th Mechanized Brigades of the enemy, as well as the 1st Brigade of the National Guard of Ukraine. In total, 18 combat battalions. Additionally, units and formations of the Western Troop Group continue to successfully advance in the Krasnoarmeysk direction, with the liberation of the settlement of Yampol nearing completion. Offensive actions are also being conducted in other directions. Over the past 2 weeks, the Northern Troop Group has successfully advanced in the southern part of Volchansk. To date, more than 70% of the city has been liberated. The Southern Troop Group assault units have liberated the settlements of Dranovka and Pleshchevka, continuing urban battles in Seversk and Konstantinovka. The East Troop Group is advancing in the Dnipropetrovsk and Zaporizhia regions, liberating 6 settlements. I would like to note that the successes of the Russian troops in surrounding the Krasnoarmeysk-Dmitrovo agglomeration and the city of Kupyansk, the results of completing combat tasks in other directions have undoubtedly become possible thanks to the heroic actions of our soldiers, sergeants, junior commanders, as well as the meticulous work of the headquarters and all levels of leadership. I want to congratulate the entire personnel of the Joint Troop Group with these results. At the same time, as noted earlier, there lies a great deal of difficult work ahead in eliminating the surrounded enemy formations. In this regard, I would like to draw attention to a few points. First, to minimize unnecessary casualties, I urge you, as we have done with you before, to take all necessary measures to ensure the surrender of Ukrainian servicemen, those who wish to do so. We know you know better than anyone that this is not easy for the servicemen of the Ukrainian army because they are fired on from behind and targeted by drones from above, eliminating those trying to surrender. Nevertheless, on our part, it is natural, and it is necessary to act with prisoners in accordance with international law and the legislative framework of the Aryan Federation. Historically, the Russian army has always treated a vanquished enemy with mercy, and we will proceed from this. We have discussed this with you many times, and we have not reported on the various situations occurring at one or another section of combat contact. In the same manner, I ask you to continue to act. And of course, during combat operations to clear these territories, everything must be done to ensure the safety of the civilian population, which Ukrainian formations use as a human shield. The local residents must be provided with all necessary assistance and measures should be taken for their evacuation to safe areas.
25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.